who's such an expert, an excellent goal scorer. And of course, just by being there, he drags away a couple, two or three defenders at any one time. And Man City, they do play this false nine, even when Haaland is playing most, as he does most weeks, and scoring at one or two goals most weeks as well. And that's a really good example, I think, of what you've just said. Because other players will be drawn to Haaland anyway, making more space. But again, the false nines are confusing the defenders, thinking everything's going to Haaland, and of course it doesn't. And they've got players like De Bruyne and others who can really exploit that advantage. But yeah, I agree with everything you said there.
Yeah. Well, so there's a team that we rarely talk about on this show, and it's Arsenal. We've never said anything about Arsenal. What is happening with Arsenal?
I think since the likes of I think we talk about teams that have got maybe one controversial player or a controversial coach, a team that brings somebody who's in a team that brings that team to the limelight.
Yeah.
So when that team comes to the limelight all the time, you want to talk about them because of maybe the way they are playing or their coach or one player who is controversial. I remember the days of Mourinho. There's no time you don't see his teams on the newspaper. Either they've won a goal or they've won a match, they've lost a match, Mourinho has made a comment or something's happened, or there's been like a fight on the match or something like that. So Arsenal has been on the under the radar. And why they've been under the radar is if you look at the last two seasons, Arsenal should have won the league. It should have won the league. And also, Mikel Arteta, being the Arsenal coach and a Spanish man, is not a media person. He's not like a Guardiola. Sometimes even the gestures, the sarcasm of Guardiola alone, you see him in the newspaper. People talk about him and stuff like that. But because Arsenal has not been, they've not won the league, neither have they done so well in the Champions League, has made a lot of people talk less about them.
Right, Trevor.
But that doesn't take it away that they are not a good team. They're a very, very good team. And I'm thinking this season it might be Arsenal. Because the last two seasons they've been up there, nudging whoever is at the top.
I think
they're like the opposition party in politics, aren't they?
Yeah.
I agree with what you said there. I think they've been preparing themselves very well and could easily have won it. I think 2 seasons ago they kind of blew out near the end, but last season they were there or thereabouts. And I think it's a bit like the tennis players, because others are there, it stops others winning. And without Man City, Arsenal clearly would have won at least one of the recent championships. When you consider, as we said before, Man City, I think, have won something like the last 8 or 9, except for Liverpool in 2020, I think it was, which is phenomenal. I mean, it looks like a one-team league, but yeah, I think Arsenal will win the league sooner or later. I don't think Man City can go on that relentlessly successfully. But all that said, wouldn't it be good to have another Leicester? Not necessarily Leicester themselves, but another team who sort of come out of nowhere and win the title. I mean, that's what it should all be about. The unexpected, and the thrill for Leicester fans would be beyond anything they can probably describe even now. To have won that Premier League when Liverpool were there, Man City were there, Arsenal and so on, they came out of from nowhere to win it. And we know a lot of their fans won a lot of money, like £50,000. I mean, the odds were ridiculous. I mean, it was,
The
I
odds
don't know
were
whether it was
ridiculous, yeah.
1,000 to 1 or 5,000 to 1. Of course, ever since then, the
5,000 to
bookmakers
1,
have
yeah,
learned a
you're
lesson.
right. 5,000 to 1.
Yeah, it was. So that was a good killing for those fans who did that. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be great to see another team come forward, just if only to break the domination. I mean, Chelsea, I don't think Palace are going to be at that level yet, but there are other teams who are creeping up, and that level yet. But there are other teams who are creeping up, and I just think it would be good for football if we actually saw a surprise team come and win it. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it would be nice if it did.
So you're saying Manchester United, Manchester City might be they might not win the next one. This
Anybody can win the league. It's just your state of mind.
Yeah.
If you look at it last season, City almost lost it. If one or two other lower team have given them that, giving them that competition, they would have lost some matches, would have made them drop points, and Arsenal would have won it. So it depends on if you've got like 4 or 5 solid team in a season, 4 or 5 solid team that can beat anyone, then there's every possibility that we might have a new Premier League champion this season.
Yeah. I would so love to see that. I would so love. But having said that, the point that I was going to bring out was Real Madrid has won it 15 times. 15 times.
Won the Champions League, you mean?
Not the Champions League, but the
domestic league.
Yeah, no, not the domestic league. Yeah, the Champions League. Yeah, they've won
Champions League. Yeah,
they've won it 15 times.
No, Real Madrid. I don't know how they do it, but I think because I watched Real Madrid Chelsea last night, they beat Chelsea 2-1, and in the second half, they brought in they made like 6 or 7 changes. And I saw these new boys that I've never seen before playing for Real Madrid. I've never heard their name before, but they play like a Man City team. They played like so. Real Madrid is out of this world. They are on their own planet. And why I'm saying that is they go for the best. Even some young talent. Hendrick was on the seat, was on the bench, he wasn't playing. They go for some young, they pick 1 out of 1 million. You know, when you are picking the best out of 1 million into your team, and you go into the market again and pick another 1 out of 1 million, then definitely you have one of the best team in the world. That does not really say you're going to win, but that gives you 90-95% of winning all your matches if there's no fatigue. 90-95% you're going to win all your league. So, and Real Madrid, they've got a mentality that every other team does not have. Even when they are playing poorly, don't expect them to lose. They can just go in the last 5 minutes, boom, and they win a match.
Yeah.
So I think it's the mentality they have, and the crop of players they've got. The crop of players they've got are players that want to win all the time. Luka Modric last night was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I didn't know. I was watching from the TV and I was like, who is this guy running around and taking people out and making passes? At the end of the day, it was Luka Modric. So what? At that age? No. If you look at when they picked out Luka Modric, when they bought him about 13, 14 years ago from Tottenham, it was one of the best in that league then, in that team then. When they picked out Gareth Bale from Tottenham, it was the best there. When they picked out Tony Rudiger from Chelsea, it was the best in that defense line. When they picked out Hazard from Chelsea, it was the best in Chelsea then. They go for the best. And that's why they are winners. That's why they are winners.
Yeah. Well, Trevor, I think we've got just over a minute to hear you out on Real Madrid. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I agree. It's hard to disagree with anything there. And I think Beckham was another example. He played very well for them. And Steve McManaman, another one before Beckham, and so on. But I just wonder where they are picking out that one player in a million, which they do, how they do that. I mean, I think clubs are owned in different ways in Spain. They're owned by mega companies, aren't they? Whether that has an impact, I don't know. But they just get the best. Even, for example, Zinedine Zidane. I mean, he was the manager very successfully there, and he was a a one in a million footballer as well. So yeah, I think Femi's right. They go for the best, and it's not like it's been a cycle where they've gone down and peaks and troughs. They seem to have stayed there consistently for many, many years, I guess. So yeah, it's quite phenomenal what they do.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's just I saw it and I'm thinking these people have won it 15 times. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, I hope Manchester United. I'm going to say something that's controversial again. I hope Manchester United.
And Palace, of course. Palace are going to come from nowhere and win.
Right. So, do you want to do the closing this time, Femi? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
been
go
a
on, Femi.
very, very interesting topic. We've delved into so many interesting stories and talked about so many things. But unfortunately, we didn't talk about ladies today. So maybe next week we talk
No,
about
we
ladies.
didn't. No.
Did we?
Yeah.
No,
No,
it
we
was on
didn't,
the
did
other
we?
program, isn't it? We didn't talk about ladies today. But even at that, it's been a very wonderful one. So from me, Femi Madariola, and he calls me Sir Femo.
Yeah, and it's goodbye
And
from
from
me.
me, Trevor. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Trevor.
And from me, Trevor Gear, and he calls me bruv. And Femi, you must have a name for me as well, I think. But he calls me bruv, and
And from me, and he calls me Cos. It's goodbye.
Goodbye.
goodbye.